Hello, my name is Leo Reyes, and I'm here to address my audience that I am a targeted individual. What is a targeted individual? A targeted individual has satellites constantly watching and tailing him and are used to basically monitor him, and it's being done against someone's will. So it's like totally violating someone's human rights, and it's done through technology that's naked to the human eye. There's nothing you can catch or see. It's going to take technology to record, trace, and detect it. And the thing is, I can tell you I am suffering from it, but to really prove to you that I am, I'll have to use that technology and present it in front of an audience, which is very time consuming and costly, and there isn't that many people that can get a hold of this technology, or for that matter anyone who will push a grain when it comes to fighting for someone's rights against this technology. What does this technology do to me? Well, it disturbs me psychologically, physically, through microwaves that are transparent. They can penetrate through just about anything, and the frequency can be low to very high, depending on what the situation calls for. For instance, if I am very aggressive and belligerent and are resistant to the technology being used on me, the frequency can increase. I can have any symptoms, and the symptoms can range from anything: itchy, sneezy nose, runny nose, pulsating ears, strange feelings inside your chest cavity, like pain, sharp pain, ankle spasms, muscle spasms, calf spasms, eye irritation, pain directly inside your cardiovascular system, all the ventricles through your heart. Anywhere in that area, you can feel pressure there, pain there, rashes, psoriasis. You can have just about anything, any kind of symptom, as long as there's the platform for it to occur. They can exacerbate it if that's what they're using when they're using it, because they want to be stealthy and they want everything to actually fall into play so that they can do it stealthily. For instance, if you catch a cold, it'll be severe. If you have hiccups, you'll have severe hiccups. If you have a slight rash, it'll be a severe rash. They can exacerbate anything, and they can even cause the condition for you to have a condition. For instance, if you know that you have high cholesterol, they can shoot microwaves disturbing your neurotransmitters, causing your body to all of a sudden wake up out of your sleep and cause you to sleepwalk and eat. And when you eat, you're basically gaining weight. And when you go back to bed, that's not a healthy way of life. And what happens is you're overeating. You're not conscious of it because you're sleepwalking. And when you're eating, you're waking up the next morning regretting about it all, or if you still remember that you did it. And what happens is your cholesterol raises high. This can cause cardiovascular conditions, an increase of possibilities of stroke, heart attacks, high blood pressure, and the works. Anything, any kind of condition can pretty much be developed when you have high cholesterol. Diabetes can be exacerbated. Anything, any kind of substance, whatever they can get, they'll take it. They'll run with it. And if you injure yourself, believe me, they'll use your injury as their catapult. They'll use your injury as a catapult, as the catalyst to another condition. So let me give you an example. Let's say you break your ankle, and you break your ankle. For those 2-3 months, your blood pressure is going to be high. When your blood pressure is going to be very high, it's because you can't work out, you can't physically be active, and you're going to be constantly disturbed through your sleeping cycle, through the microwaves. And what happens is that while you're in a duration trying to heal your ankle back up, your blood pressure is going to be tremendously high because your sleeping cycle is off. See, they love to harm injured people. And what happens is when you have high blood pressure, anything, you can have stuff from hyper blood tension, stroke, kidney failure. Blood pressure is just not a good thing. especially for someone in his mid to late 40s. And that is a very dangerous thing, high blood pressure. Maybe not when you're young, but for someone in his mid 30s to early mid 40s, it's a very dangerous condition. These are all the symptoms you can have being a target individual. Sleep deprivation, your sleeping cycle is always off, you're constantly frequently urinating because you're having severe urinating. It's hard to hold fluids inside your bowels, and it causes you anything. You can't hold on to a job. If you apply for Social Security, which is usually what they want, so it can really cover up everything and claim that you're mentally disabled. And see, what happens now is that you fall into a system. Now, they're going to call you a mentally ill patient, a mentally disturbed person, but in reality, you're not. You're very fully functional. You're being disturbed by satellite technology through microwaves and brain waves that can pass through your senses without being detected. But you can hear that. You can sense it. You can't hear it. They're not sound waves, but they are very closely related. They're brain waves. And you think you're going crazy, but it's not your mind racing. It's a central intelligent agent who's using the mind control program technology to feed information into you, to address you, to threaten you, to persuade you, to lure you, to destroy you, to do whatever it takes to cause your lifespan to slash in half so you don't have the prosperity and longevity of a very happy, long life. Okay? That's out of the question, especially for undesirable people. When it comes to the lower class, they're just about all victims of it. Everyone has a program. Everyone has a program, depending if you are being attacked with this technology or not. Everyone has a program. If you're the richest of the rich or the poorest of the poor, everyone's being watched. Everyone's being monitored by these spy satellites. The thing is there's nothing that's being done now to stop it. And if you can see, most of it pretty much plays out. It's just another natural mentally ill condition, and you're suffering from either schizophrenia or this or that. They'll come up with many hosts of different type of symptoms to pretty much take the blame for the truth, which is that you are being disturbed by the satellite. Everyone knows it. I'm a tremendous victim of it. Okay? They diagnosed me with schizophrenia. Well, I don't think it's schizophrenia. You know what it really is? It's CIA mind control frenia. That's what I really suffer from, because I'm a healthy person. I'm intelligent. I have my GED. Okay, I scored pretty high on my tests, exams. I'm not someone that can be easily fooled. I've been conscious of this for a good, I would say, 7 years now, that I have been tailed by the satellite. And it's nothing new to me. I've never uploaded the YouTube videos. I've always had a different type of style of promoting my condition to people, so that people can have awareness to my condition, so that they can understand the struggle of a target individual like me, especially the minorities. They are the most attacked class of society. Undesirable whites also. See, the Central Intelligence Agents have emotions. They're humans. They handpick who they want to target. Everyone's on a program. Now you're going to be a puppet, or you're going to be a slave for their slave show. That's something different than the puppet show. The puppet show are people who actually will go along with the program and agree with it, or have no power to be able to resist it and just go along with it. A lot of them are news media, famous people, celebrities, business moguls, upper class people, middle class people, especially, how can I say, Trump supporters. Yeah, if you're a Trump supporter, you're on the good side, desirable or not, because they like the division that's going on in society. That's what they're constantly working on, to divide the nation, because they're insecure. They're insecure. They don't like the flood of minorities start to seep into their mother brain and the nuclei. They already tore into the outer layers, or into the mitochondria. And once they seep into the nucleus, see, they get inside the mother, they're inside, and then they control the mother brain, and that's it. Now you got minorities involved with politics, minorities involved with in law enforcement, national security agencies, and then all of a sudden, the Central Intelligence Agency. They are very scared, very weary. Hey, don't be surprised if they don't shoot chemicals in the troposphere and zombify everybody. Because I swear these people are very insecure. I understand white America is patriotic to a country, but patriotism, to what extent? I mean, when people salute the flag, that's one thing, okay? And when they're patriotic, that's another. Saluting the flag or not saluting the flag has nothing to do with patriotism. Minorities are just as patriotic to the country as people who do salute the flag. The country is a beautiful land. It will be protected if minorities take over the nuclei and the mother brain of this country's, law enforcement, military, legislative branches, executive branches, and judicial branches. They're not going to just let this country go because minorities take over. It has nothing to do with that. As you can see, there are lots of people, minorities that come here that have served the military, have become law enforcement officers, and it has nothing to do with patriotism. The thing is, they're insecure, and this is what they're going to do. They're going to constantly divide the nation. They're going to divide the nation if they're and they're not going to stop until they're able to have what they want to happen. They want something to be produced, and what's going to be produced here is going to benefit them. It's going to benefit them. They're going to no longer be insecure. All right. So dividing the nation is good for them because they want to control the mother brain. They don't want no one there, a Hispanic or an African American or an Asian American, or God forbid an Arab American to come into their agency, and then hey, things have to change. They're always used to getting the first dibs on everything. If it ain't white, it ain't right type of a mentality. They're the ones the pioneers, the cowboys. They're the ones who put this thing together, and they're not gonna just give their cup of tea away. They came here, and anyone tries to take away their cup of tea, there's gonna have to be a huge struggle there. And the major struggle there is with the mind control program. That's what's causing the racial division right now. That's what's causing a lot of mass shootings. Everyone's constantly blaming it on terrorism, guns, mental illness. But the truth of the matter is, how come right now there are no shootings, especially when there's a pattern you can see between the summer months of July and August and most of September anyway. Last year, it was just like this, quiet, and then there will be a shootings. Not saying that pattern will be broke, but it's surprising if it doesn't. But let me tell you what, no one's going to get away from the disturbances that we went through in this country. Will not forget how crazy it was like between when, right around when I would say Wendy Williams fainted on her show. There was a shooting by a terrorist, or there was some kind of an attack by a terrorist or an Arab American or illegal alien or whoever he was that same day. And since that day, all up around until I would say Ramos, the Ramos shooting inside the news anchor station, which was on the 28th of June, there were tremendous amounts of shootings, like major shootings. They made major headlines. Since then, it stopped. We don't know where it's going to happen next, but I'm letting you know that this show is definitely not natural. And I want you to know what's going on with me, and I want you to understand the condition and the status quo of America. Are you going to sit there? You're going to allow this to continue? Or are you going to protest? Everyone has their protests, okay? And one thing I don't see is anyone fighting for the rights of targeted individuals. No one does. It's like it's a hidden thing. It's like no one wants to speak about it. There are no talk shows talking about targeted individuals. You know, it's just not. It's being covered up by the news media, talk shows, everyone. The only way there could be a movement is that it finally is broken into the news media, okay, and proven that that's being used against, okay, people, all right, for no reason other than the fact that they're hated or felt like they're an undesirable class of people. And I believe all people should have a fair chance at a good life, especially when you're documented, which I am. It's just not fair for you to go through all this unprosperity and targeting and neural monitoring to cause you all these setbacks. It's just not fair. I'm Leo Reyes, and this is what I wanted to share with you today.